All right.
All right, everyone's going to start flooding in here in just a little bit. A little bit of an unexpected live stream. Not unexpected, but let's say surprise live stream. I know no one's here just yet, but we'll all start flowing at the same time, I do expect. So right now you guys see me, but we do have a surprise. As your boy thought to himself, what is something we haven't done on this channel? What is something more unique? What would you guys like to see? And so I brought on my boy, Patriots Football Breakdown, man.
What's up? Hey, thank you so much for having me on, man. I truly, really appreciate this, man. It's so awesome to be able to do the collab with you. It was so fun a few weeks ago when we just sat there and talked Pats football for an hour. Thanks for having me on your channel to do this mock draft, man. It's really cool, really fun.
Yeah, definitely. I actually, I thought about this just because I've been doing nothing but mock drafts on my channel, which the viewers would know. You look at my channel, it's just like mock draft. And it's just because I'm having so much fun at making these. And it's just like so many different,
that mock draft simulator it's addicting, man. I remember when I first discovered it, I was like just 3 or 4, like randomly all the time after time. I was like, come on, can I get that A+ yet?
No, literally like that. Even when I'm not doing YouTube and I have like free time, I'm like doing mock drafts on my phone and whatnot. But
come on, give me an A+. How do I get that A+?
Oh my god, dude! I think I can make out like an A- before. But think that's as high as I've gotten.
Yeah.
But I had this idea because for those of you who know CLNS Media, do you know CLNS Media?
No, never.
Evan Lazar, whatnot. So.
Oh yes. Okay, I heard that name.
So yeah. I was watching one of their videos. I'm actually associated with CLNS Media for those of you who don't know. So because I'm associated with them, I have contact with them. So I watch some of their videos that I come across, especially these mock drafts. I love watching Patriots mock drafts, getting different opinions, which is a big reason why I actually wanted to have you on, was because, you guys are always hearing my opinions. And while it is great, and we do sometimes live picks where you guys get to pick them, it's good to hear other people's opinions because that can help adapt my opinions, maybe your opinions. It's always good to get fresh blood in here, which is essentially why I wanted to do this. So how we're going to do this is that we're going to go back to back. It's going to be, I'll start with the first round, then we'll go to you, and we can trade. That's going to be the big thing. Okay. Is we want to make this as realistic as possible. We don't want to make this obviously like let's say Madden.
You're not getting Patrick Surtain in the 3rd round.
Madden, yeah, we're not gonna play like Madden franchise,
right?
So we'll go back to back. I think I would have to I think I have to control it. So okay. When it comes to your pick, obviously if you see somebody and you want to stay there, let me know. I'm also going to pause it in case you want to trade up and you're like, oh, I like this team, or if you're like, hey, pause it there, I want to see maybe if this guy drops or whatnot, I'll pause it. If you want to trade up, if you want to trade back, let me know. Obviously, the Patriots have 10 draft picks. They're not going to use all 10 draft picks. It's just not going to happen. They have about 10, 12 total roster spots right now, and most of those players are starters on our 2021 roster.
Yeah.
So and the guys that they draft for the most part are guys that are pretty much locks. Like they're not going to just draft these guys and then cut them a few months later. So
I think the other day the roster was at like over 75, I think, or something like that. I mean, obviously it doesn't have to be down to 53 for a long time from now, but there's, like you said, there's some cuts that have to be made, and it's going to be interesting because there's a lot of guys that have been brought in that are expected to start, and there's a lot of guys that were on the team last year that were expected to be held over, but may not be now. I mean, it's kind of up in the air for a lot of people.
Yeah, so I think they're at about 80, and then they released 2 players. So if I'm right, they're at 78. I could be wrong, but I think
it was 78. I think
that's where they're at this point after some of the roster moves that they made. So that's how that's going to go. Again, if you want to trade up, that could kind of compile some of these total 10 draft picks we have. If we trade up, if we trade back, of course, we can also do that. Acquire picks for 2022. If we have a 4th round pick and it's your turn, and you're just like, I don't want this.
Yeah.
Let's trade back. Let's get some picks for 2022. That's cool. Also, I mean, they're going to do that. I guarantee you that's going to be a big thing they do between trading up and getting picks for 2022.
Right.
That's going to be their big thing. In case there's any holes, unexpected holes, at the end of this season, going into the draft with like a really good amount of draft capital for 2022, I think is going to be just that classic Belichick move. But do you want to kind of, talk about your channel, let them know where you are? I'm going to try to update real quick the thumbnail to add it to the live stream real quick. So cool. Go ahead.
All right. Thanks, man. Well, first of all, my name's Patrick, guys. Thanks for joining us here tonight. My Patriots channel is called Patriots Football Breakdown. We talk pretty much anything and everything related to the Patriots. We do a lot of stuff, topic discussions, mock drafts, predictions, all that sort of thing. Talk a little bit about the NFL as a whole, but mostly focus on the Patriots. Live streams, we kind of just hang out and chat and all that sort of thing. But just happy to be here with my guy, Patriots Global. Thanks for the opportunity once again to get on here and get to talk to some of your fans too, man. It's really awesome.
Yeah, and I think you probably, I'm just guessing, have some of the same guys, just because obviously as a Patriots channel, you're going to kind of get to that point where you have some of the same guys. The thumbnail should now be added, so give it a little bit more of a professional look.
Oh, yeah.
But let me get back here. But obviously, you guys can see, for those of you who are coming in, I know we only have about 28 people right now. Hopefully that goes up. Usually it goes up. But I know this is a little bit more of an unexpected one. But we have the Patriots live mock draft again with trades to try to make it a little bit more realistic. Like always, we are going to be using the PFF simulator at the end. It's going to give us grades on each pick, give us an overall grade. We're going to see as best as we can get it, but ultimately just be as realistic as possible. Real quick, we do have a couple of donations that I do want to get to.
Nice.
So I do want to thank straight off the bat, all of you for being here, of course. But more specifically, my boy, Mr. Automotive. Mr. Automotive is a longtime subscriber, huge donator. Last donation, my boy, Mr. Automotive, who again was here, I think before 1,000 subscribers, donated about 200. He donated 250s and 100. Insane. The word blessed
that's awesome.
Doesn't accurately describe what I am for not just the channel, but, Mr. Automotive and everything. So Mr. Automotive, you said, let's get this party started, right? You already know. So thank you for your first donation. And I also want to thank you, of course, my guy, coming off strong with your second donation. You are making this live stream already lit, already fired up. Mr. Automotive is bringing that energy. That's what we love to see. We need the energy. That gets us pumped. That gets you guys pumped. It just makes for a better live stream. You also said Patriots Football channel. Let's go. So it does sound like Mr. Automotive does know about you, or if he didn't before, he does now. So
awesome.
Definitely thankful to have all of you. It does look like you also just got a new subscriber from my boy Clemson Carson.
Nice. Thank you, Clemson Carson. Appreciate that.
But without further ado, of course, I will check the comments to see what you guys are saying. We get any more donations, of course, give you guys a shout out. Real quick, my boy Neil Ray, another longtime subscriber and a Patreon, says Mr. Automotive is the best.
That's awesome.
Or is a beast. He's the king. Yes, 100%. But without further ado, of course, let's just hop right into it. Looks like you got another one too here. I'll be curious. Talk to me after we're done the live stream. Let me know how many subscribers you got, because I'm so curious how much you're gonna gain just from it. All right,
that'd be sweet.
All right, so can you see?
Yeah, I got it. Yeah.
Is it better for you and you guys in general in the stream? Is it better if I do this one or this one? Does that make a difference for you?
I mean, this one's bigger for me. I mean, I'm not sure what they're seeing right now, but yeah, we're covered up. But yeah, the mock draft simulator is bigger.
So that might be better for you then?
Oh, yeah. That's good for me.
That's good. All right, yeah. All right, we'll roll with this one then. So obviously go down. I already selected the Patriots. We're going to enter this draft. I picked more of a public board rather than the PFF board, just because I think PFF is a little bit more, at least from what I've learned from doing so many of these mock drafts, that they're a little bit more different compared to where their draft board is compared to everybody else. So, maybe we'll get more of an accurate one. So we're going to enter the draft here. So before I hit the start button, I do want to say, guys, so with the 15th pick, obviously I'll start here. I don't have, unless, we'll see how the board goes here. But from what I've seen on this board, it's going to go Trevor Lawrence, Zach Wilson, Justin Fields. And even though I do think I've been hearing Mac Jones could go number 3.
I don't know about that one.
I don't know. We'll have to see. It could be.
I love Mac Jones. I really do. I'm a big fan of it. And all the people that have been detracting from him, he's a system quarterback, all the talent around him, blah, blah, blah. No, I haven't bought into any of that. I think he's going to be a really good starting NFL quarterback. But I don't know if he's going at 3. That's pretty high.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you completely. I love Mac Jones, but I do think 3 is a little bit high. But look, in the end, if that's your guy, I guess that's your guy. So they'll do as they see fit. But I also don't want to trade up to this 4th pick for Mac Jones. Right. It's more of a thing for me where it's like, if he falls to 15, maybe even if he falls to like 8 or 9, maybe. I also will say that unless PFF randomly changed it, expect the Panthers to take a quarterback. They didn't put in the Sam Darnold trade yet, which is going to throw things off slightly. But what I've also heard today, coming from ESPN, Mike Reese, who works very, very close, obviously, with the Patriots, which is also why I'm going to stay at 15 for this mock draft. With all my other trades, I've traded up to number 4 to take a quarterback. I'm not going to do that with this one. We'll see if a quarterback falls to 15, and then we'll go from there. But my thinking process on this is that Mike Reese reported today that the Patriots are actually going to hit the pause button on a quarterback, which I don't know if I necessarily agree with. I think that's more so for the first round. They're going to hit a pause button and kind of see how things go, during the draft.
It depends on how the board shakes out.
Yeah, I still think that they should take, a quarterback in the first round. And if they miss out on all those guys, there's only 1 or 2 guys that I'm willing to take outside of the top 5. Yeah. Kellen Mond's obviously one of those for my own personal opinion.
Kellen Mond.
I do. Look, if they select him in the second and they miss out on one of these top 5 guys, I wouldn't hate it. I wouldn't hate Kellen Mond there in the second, honestly. But we're gonna see how it falls, with the new report that Mike Reese said about the Patriots kind of hitting that pause button. So I'm actually gonna stay at 15, guys. I'm not gonna trade. This does have again trades, but we're gonna stay at 15 for this one just because we've heard so much about the Patriots trading up. Would it surprise us to see them stay at 15 though? Honestly.
That's a coin flip to me. I mean, you know how much Belichick trades those first round picks throughout the years, but that's when we've been at the back of the first round. We're definitely in a more secure place, with Brady there and the team around him. So I don't necessarily think he's going to trade out of he definitely won't trade out of the first round, but trading up, a slight possibility. I don't think we're going to trade back at all. I don't see that happening.
Yeah, I think it's a generational pick. You should stay at 15. I don't think they need to compile more draft picks. But let's look at the board, how, it kind of shaked out so far. Is anything that stands out to you? Obviously, with Jamar Chase, obviously goes to the Falcons. I don't hate that for them. Justin Fields does go number 3. Caleb Farley, number 7. I think
that's surprising.
A little, with those back injuries, that concerns me. So maybe 7 a little high, but again, if they really feel that high on him, Devontae Smith goes to the Dolphins. Trey Lance goes to the Panthers. Again, guys, I've heard they could maybe still take a quarterback. I personally don't see it nor agree with it because of how much they gave for Sam Darnold. So I don't think the Panthers will.
No, not in the first round.
But I do think that, look, even if the Panthers, don't take a quarterback, the pick after at number 9 to the Broncos.
Broncos are going to quarter. Yeah, they're going to go for a quarterback.
They would take a quarterback if there's there, but they still like Kyle Pitts. I don't hate that, but with Noah Fant, I don't necessarily love it.
Yeah, that's like doubling up on a position that you're already pretty good at, especially when you have a lot of other positions in need. That doesn't make a lot of sense.
Yeah,
so I think they're definitely going to be honed in on a quarterback.
Yeah, I don't love that for them. Jalen Waddle is a great selection there for the Giants. Mac Jones goes to the Eagles.
Wow.
Yeah, that's surprising.
It depends on how strongly they feel about Jalen Hurts, man. I mean, if they really feel like he is their guy, I don't think they're going to go QB in the first round.
Yeah, I mean, I guess you have your new, head coach in there too, so it's like how does
that's not Jalen Hurts isn't necessarily his guy.
Exactly, because
Nick Sirianni.
Exactly, because last year he wasn't in the building, so it's a different situation. I don't think that's out of the question. Other than that, I don't hate this. I mean, Micah Parsons to the Chargers. Yeah, I kind of wish that he was there, but at the same time, I guess it's pretty realistic to not have him there. But they did get a linebacker last year too in the first, so it's slightly surprising. Rashawn Slater, though. Rashawn Slater, a pick to the the Vikings. I like that for them.
Yeah.
So to look on the board with what we have,
Let's see what we got.
JC Horn, Christian Barmore. So those are like two guys off the bat. I'd probably look at Christian Darrisaw, Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. I do like him.
Yeah.
He's probably like, obviously you missed out on Parsons. He'd be like the next best, but I do think within like the next few rounds also, you could still get a nice value to linebacker. And, linebacker isn't necessarily like a complete starter for the season. You don't necessarily need it, so I'm not too concerned.
Yeah, I mean, you look at our linebackers going into next year. I mean, you're going to Matthew Judon's going to start. Van Noy is likely going to start. Most likely going to start. And we're pretty much set as far as starters in the linebacking core. If you're drafting somebody high, it's probably going to be as a developmental pick.
Yeah, exactly. For the future and whatnot. So I'm not too worried about grabbing one in the first. I think if you're going to get a guy in the first, you're expecting him to kind of be like your day one starter
right?
And difference maker. It's honestly my board would go kind of how these top three are. I know a lot of people don't like the potential of a tackle in the first round. I wouldn't put it out of the question mark. I think that this is a good offensive line class where you can get value in the next few rounds. But again, I know that Belichick loves Christian Darrisaw. You look at the offensive line, that's like, I say that the offensive line is like the engine to a car. Like it's literally beyond important to an offense and how it operates and if it's going to be successful or not. So I don't think it's out of the question for the Patriots to select a tackle in the first round.
Well, no, I mean, you got to think too. I mean, Isaiah Wynn has had a lot of injury issues, and his fifth-year option is coming up. Trent Brown was brought over, but it's realistically just a one-year deal.
Yeah,
I mean, who knows if they're going to re-sign him next year? They could very well be in the market for starting tackles next year. So to draft one this year, while right now it seems like a position of strength or not necessarily a position of need, it might be smart to kind of get out in front of it and draft an offensive tackle in the first round.
Exactly. And I think that's the thing with Belichick is that he doesn't necessarily look for what is need right now, but more so, hey, I could use this as depth for this upcoming season, but for the long-term stability of the team, this is the guy I need, especially with both Isaiah Wynn and Trent Brown being in contract a year. So both your starting tackles are going to be free agents at the end of the season. That's a scary thought.
Absolutely.
So it is very intriguing, Christian Darrisaw here at the tackle position. But I just look at like talent wise and how the board is falling. And I like Christian Barmore. I think, look, if you look at how Christian Barmore was graded, so I actually have a membership with PFF. So like I get to see like all of this fancy stuff here. So like if there's more you want to see about a player, we can look at like their stats, their build, their projection round, player that they're compared to. Now, not all players have this, but the majority of guys do, especially in like, earlier on in the draft. As you get to later, it's not as much as you would expect. But Christian Barmore has really, really nice grades the past 2 seasons, and he's easily the best interior defensive lineman in the draft where there's not a lot of, I would say, good interior defensive linemen. So this is an intriguing pick. I would really honestly like to see the Patriots go this route. Well, not necessarily go this route, but at least consider it, especially if he's there. I think it's going to be hard to pass on him. Obviously, you can see that most Dolphins fans have Miami picking him. I think that they could use him. The Patriots could use him.
Yeah.
But unfortunately, I do look at a pick higher. And I'm not going to pick JC Horn because obviously he's the best currently on the board. But because I look at the Patriots secondary, concerns, and Belichick values the secondary tremendously.
Oh, yeah.
And I just have concerns about the Patriots secondary. Whether you go safety or corner, I think both are needs for the long-term stability of the team. But JC Jackson has not technically re-signed with the team. They placed the tender on him, but he didn't sign his tender yet, right? So technically, we don't even have JC Jackson back as of yet. I heard rumors that the Titans might actually make an offer to him. If that happens, where does this route go? Of course, you have your Stephon Gilmore trade rumors. Even if he stays, he's getting older. How much longer is he going to be with the team? That injury concern. The Patriots need another corner. They need a long-term stability corner, a guy that they can kind of look at and build the future around. So
I'm with you. Yep.
If we look here at JC Horn, I also like his build. If he was like in the 5 foot, I'd be very concerned. But as a 6'1", 205-pound linebacker cornerback, I like it. I like the addition. And we need an outside corner. I've seen people going like in the first or second, like, I like this pick for the Patriots to put in the slot. And it's like, they don't really need a slot corner. They need a guy on the outside. And luckily enough for JC Horn, he fits that bill, and he fits the defensive scheme tremendously as a really good man-to-man press corner. Whether it's JC Jackson that would go or Stephon Gilmore, I think JC Horn would be a perfect plug-in. Yeah. Obviously, they have a first-round grade on him. They say that Horn has the physical set and, more importantly, the mindset to be a press man corner in the NFL. They have his best strength being a confident player. Super, super important when we are talking about secondary. But his biggest weakness is going to be tackling. But I think that that's teachable, so I'm not too concerned about that.
Yeah, and let me ask you too about J.C. Jackson. In my opinion, at least, he's not necessarily that lockdown corner. And I know a lot of people love J.C. and I think he's a good player. I'm not saying he's not. But to me, he's more of a gambler, more of a route jumper. He's not that guy like a Darrelle Revis or a Stephon Gilmore a couple of years ago that's going to take away the team's best receiver on a weekly basis. I think he's more of like an Asante Samuel, where when he's great, he's great. When he's bad, it's real bad. But I mean, that's not always a bad thing. I mean, it's bad when he misses, but it's good to have an instinctive player like that. But I don't think you can necessarily say that J.C. Jackson's that number one shutdown corner.
Not at all. I don't think that's what he is. And I think that we saw glimpses of like what he would have to be like as a number one corner. And it was just inconsistency. It showed really great promise at times, but then inconsistency with others. I think that he's a good number two. Like you said, you're kind of gambling sometimes with him as a number two corner. I just don't know if I trust him as a number one guy. Right. And kind of how I see it's kind of like JC Jackson and Farley. I kind of, that's where I kind of put the similarities, because Farley isn't necessarily like a, elite man-to-man press corner, but he has really good traits with length and size and ball hawking ability.
I was surprised they had him going over Patrick Surtain. I really am. I think Patrick Surtain's definitely the best corner in the draft. But I mean, not that Caleb Farley's not a good player, but I just think, to me, Surtain's the best player at the cornerback position.
100%. You can even make the argument that he's the best defensive player in this draft. So
yeah.
I agree. I completely agree with you. But JC Horn is more of your Stephon Gilmore, Belichick lockdown. He's not going to make a ton of plays. He's not going to be JC Jackson. He's not going to have like 8 interceptions a season, but he's shut down. So honestly, you'd prefer a shutdown corner that's consistent than a guy who makes plays.
The interception numbers don't always mean a lot. I mean, if the guy's getting a lot of interception numbers, that also means he's getting thrown at a lot, which means the quarterback thinks he has a chance to beat him. If a player's on the outside and he only has like 4 picks and not a lot of tackles, that means not a lot of plays are going his way. I mean, you go back and look at Darrelle Revis' career. Look at his year-by-year stats. He was never a big interception guy because guys weren't throwing at him.
Yeah, and you can actually see right here. In 2020, he was targeted 24 times, only allowed 8 receptions. He allowed a passer rating of 54. In 2019, allowed a passer rating of 86.5 when he was targeted 49 times with 25 receptions allowed, and then allowed a passer rating of 82.6 in 2018, in which he was targeted 51 times with 32 receptions. He allowed 3 touchdowns this past season, though, on 2 interceptions. So, I mean, you prefer that number to be, a little bit lower, but not too bad. If it's a 17-game season and he's still on that rookie contract and he only allows 3 touchdowns, it's not too bad. So I'm not too worried. So I think it's just an excellent selection to go with JC Horn in the first round. I know it's too many people won't necessarily love the addition of a corner in the first round, but I think it just makes so much sense both now and for the future. So
I don't mind a corner in the first round at all. I mean, my personal opinion on him, I was of the mindset that, but then again, I was thinking maybe we could get a guy like Caleb Farley or Patrick Surtain at 15. Obviously, that's not the case in this mock draft. So if the board dictates and cornerback seems to be like the best position on the board, go with JC Horn. I mean, if that's your guy, go ahead and draft him. I would preferably like to draft him maybe in the low 20s. But again, the way this shook out, that makes sense right now.
I agree with you completely. And going back to the chat real quick, do real quick want to say thank you for everyone who's been here. Neil Ray, Ashley, Spencer, McChicken Vlogs, all of you guys. I saw some people saying trade back, some people saying don't trade back. Obviously we didn't trade back. I just think it's a generational pick. Like if they can stay there, that's great to stay there. Rob Touchdownski, my man, what's going on? We also did get another donation from none other than our boy, Mr. Automotive. This man goes crazy. You know what this donation was? You ready?
That
for
is
this?
a great
I'll put it up on the
subscriber.
screen. Ready? Watch this. Ready? A $50 donation from our boy, Mr. Automotive, saying,
wow,
Let's effing go, everyone in the channel. See, he brings the energy. You can see what I'm talking about. Like this is my man. This is my man. Even buys, our Patriots Global merch, which of course, you guys want to buy some Patriots Global merch. You can always do that if you want.
That's incredible.
So big shout out to Mr. Automotive, my guy. Nothing but love. You deserve everything and even more. So I really appreciate that, of course.
And I got to say too, real quick, that speaks to the way your fan base looks at you, man. That shows that you're doing a great job. Keep doing what you're doing, man. Great stuff,
man. Always. I mean, I believe in this. You got to keep things real. Got to keep things real if you want people to keep it real with you. Of course, donations are never like mandatory, but I mean, everything is very appreciated.
Always appreciated,
especially in today's times when this is pretty much my main job and what I'm trying to make my main job. And I always say, I don't know what you tell your subscribers, but if I can make a future out of this, that's very dictated on, you guys. If you guys share the video, you leave a like on the video, you're active with the videos, you comment, as we grow, that gives us the ability to, to make this a long-term job. And if we ultimately can make this a long-term job, and my first overall job, financially, of course, then that just means better content, more content, because you don't have to worry about, oh shoot, I gotta do this. Oh frick, I got a job. So Mr. Automotive, man, you are helping make the dream a reality. So again, more than appreciate everything.
Guys, also remember too, a share is worth 1,000 likes. If any of you can share the stuff to your channels, to any groups that you might follow, that does us so much good, man. Please do that if you can.
Yeah, no, completely. I mean, honestly, if you share this with your friends, you just post on your story or something like that, that helps because it helps get the word out. So, and it helps with the YouTube algorithm, especially liking the video. It helps tremendously with the YouTube algorithm. So I really do appreciate that. So let's get back here. All right. So are you looking to go straight through to the second?
Oh, okay. Let's see.
Did you want to trade back into the first? What are you looking to do? You tell me.
No, I wouldn't trade back into the first. I don't think. For what we'd have to give up to do that, and there's really nobody there that I'd really like to trade up for. Now we can go ahead and go to the second round.
I agree with you completely. I like that. I like that idea of not trading back unless somehow some guy just completely fell and you're like, oh shoot. So Najee Harris actually just went in the first, so I think it's kind of surprising. I got him in the second before. So
yeah. Oops. I could see him going maybe late first, but maybe late first, early second, something like that.
Yeah, I think they got him maybe slightly too high, but nonetheless, if that's your guy, that's your guy. So I'm gonna pause it right here in the start of the second. Is there, a team specifically you want to trade up with? Do you want to stay where we currently are in the second? Obviously, we're all the way down here at 46. Do you want to kind of see how the board goes and then pause it and say, oh, that guy is still there, maybe trade up? What are you looking to do?
I think I think let's roll with it. Let's roll with it to the pick.
Roll with it to the pick. All right. And it's high too. It's mid-round. So if anything, I could see the Patriots staying after second and then trading back into the second. That's something I could see.
Yeah.
All right. So let's see how this pans out. Anything surprising goes.
Like we talked about too. I mean, we have a lot of picks and we're not going to use them all in all likelihood. No. That's the likelihood of that is very small. Hopefully they can parlay some of those picks into higher picks next year. Maybe, I mean, if you got an extra six, maybe somebody will give you a 4 or a 5 next year. Then you can replay that. Maybe if you got a 4 next year that you don't really want to use, you can trade it to the following year for a 3. You can kind of parlay that. I mean, over a few years, of course, but it might be an asset that might be how you want to play it.
Yeah, no, I agree completely. They have 3 4th-round picks. I don't see them using all 3 of those. So that's definitely where I see them trading down and then compiling some picks for 2022. But obviously, do you want to select this pick? Did you want to trade it? What are you looking to do? Do you want to look at
yeah. I think let's make a selection.
Let's make a selection.
Let's see who's on the board here.
Anything specific that you're looking for at positional, that you want to look up, see if anyone's there? Is a certain position that you're I want to go there. Maybe let me hit this. This might be easier.
Let's see what the quarterbacks look like.
Let's look at the quarterbacks for sure. Alrighty. So with the quarterbacks,
Davis Mills, Kellen Mond. Let's see. Yeah, we're picking it at 96. Okay, I feel like we might. say it's a gamble, but I feel like we can get Jamie Newman at 96. I think that could be a good developmental prospect. May not be the guy that everybody wants, but I mean, I think that kid's pretty talented.
I think that he may be a starter. I think he could be a good backup. I think, like you said, it's just you're gonna see how he develops and in the right system.
Yeah.
Maybe he has a really good arm strength. I would say really good at throwing the ball and accuracy down the field. His accuracy concerns come with the mid, like the short to intermediate routes, but the deep ball accuracy for the most part is pretty good. That's
where you would hope that the teaching comes into play. But I mean, to me, his physical skill set really is what the NFL mandates these days. He's that real dual threat playmaking type of quarterback. If you can kind of coach him into some more, I mean, maybe it's something you either have or you don't, but if they can maybe coach him up to make those reads a little bit quicker, to get the ball out a little bit quicker, whatever the problem might be. I mean, I think he's worth a pick. I mean, because he originally went to Georgia, then he transferred to Wake Forest. So, I mean, you know, teams like Georgia don't really draft players unless they know they have a lot of talent. I think it might be worth it in the later rounds, but where we're at right now at 46.
Do you think that 46 is too high to select someone like Mond?
You know, it depends on how they feel about. I mean, I like him. Mm-hmm. I really do. I don't know if I like him at 46 though.
Yeah, no, I mean, I understand that.
Let's look at the rest of the. We might come back to Kellen Mond. Let's look at the rest of the board right now.
Yeah, no, I think it's understandable too, because I mean, like we were going like all the way down, and obviously, like you can see that PFF has many other guys above him.
You look at some of these positions, safety. I like Javon Holland. He's a good player, but I don't know if we don't have a need for that anymore. Jabril Cox, that's probably a third-round pick. Landon Dickerson, I like him.
Landon Dickerson definitely would have been, I think, a great addition here if it wasn't for us just signing David Andrews.
Yeah,
that would have been a perfect fit.
Oh, absolutely. Nick Bolt, yeah. Dylan Rand, I don't know much about him. Walker Little, maybe.
Is there any other like certain positions you want me to like look up specifically?
No, not really. I mean, it kind of like it illustrates at the top: quarterback, wide receiver, corner. Yeah, I'm kind of in line with that. That's kind of how I think about it. You know what? I mean, apparently it looks like they really like Kellen Mond. It looks like they've been in touch with him a lot. Mm-hmm. I personally like him. I've always liked him at Texas A&M, even when he was. I remember watching him like a couple of games as a freshman. Like, damn, that kid looks pretty good. Yeah, I agree. Hey, you know what? I mean, if that's their guy, let's go with it. Let's go with Kellen. That we feel strongly about him. Go with a big school. You know, they like him. He's put up good numbers, good grades throughout the years. He's shown good quarterback play. I think he's worth taking in the second round. Let him sit for a year or two. And I think, hey, he could potentially be a guy. Good size there, 6'3", 217. We know he's mobile, mature kid. Mm-hmm. He checks all the boxes, that's for sure. He does, and he played at Texas A&M, so it's pretty good competition for the most part there also. Yes. So you're not worried about that. They have a 5th round grade on him. I just don't think they updated it. He's not falling to the 5th. He's not going to fall to the 5th round. No. There's just no way. No. Especially with like the top 5 quarterbacks pretty much going in like the first. Before even the first half of the first round. There's always a run on quarterbacks. They always not necessarily get reached for, but teams kind of panic a little bit and they fear, well, if I don't pick the guy here, I'm never going to get him. That's why guys sometimes get picked a little bit higher than maybe a lot of people would anticipate. Yeah, I agree. So, I mean, here again, they have a 5th round. Don't agree with that. But they said after years of hoping for a next step, Mond still looks like just a guy. I mean, I don't really agree with that. They say his biggest strength is the pro style experience, and the biggest weakness is constantly making special throws. I don't think that they would make him make consistent special throws in the first few years. Like, I think that they would take this kind of same approach they did with Brady, like rely on a great defense and specifically rely on a great running game. And I'm glad he said that because, and not to sound sacrilegious here, but how many, and he made a bunch of them, don't get me wrong. How many special throws did Brady have to make game in and game out on a game-to-game basis? I mean, obviously, the Ken Tompkins one against the Saints that one year, I think it was 2013, 2-minute drill, that type of stuff. Yeah, he makes those stuff, but on a game-to-game basis, you don't have to be great every single play. Just work the system. If he's a guy that can come in and learn the system, lead the offense, that's really what you need. Yeah, I feel like even the Bills quarterback,
Josh Allen. I feel like the first few years he didn't even make consistent special throws, you know. So
no,
I'm not worried about that.
He's got a lot of talent around him too. In Mond, if he comes here, would have a lot of talent around him also. Whether he comes in next year or the year after that, you know, we would still have a lot of players around him.
Exactly. They gave him a no pressure grade of 89.1, a deep grade of 78.2, an intermediate grade of 78.2, and a passing grade of 81.3. So it sounds like intermediate to his deep range is pretty much the same.
Yeah,
for the most part. It sounds like for the most part though, like the pressure is kind of where it gets to him. But with a good offensive line, again, I'm not totally worried.
And a lot of quick passes in this offense. It's not a lot of 5-7 step drops. It's a lot of get the ball out quick on those option routes.
Yeah, I agree. I think for my biggest concern with Mon would probably just be like not the accuracy, but the consistency with him. But again, with a great defense to give him more opportunities, it's not going to be like a situation like it was last year where you rely on him to do stuff. If that's a situation, then you're like, oh, heck no. Like, you don't want Mon to be that guy. At least definitely not to start. Give him a few years. But I think that with a good run game that they can rely on to go first, a run first team. And then,
but you know, there's very few guys that are like miracle workers. Like Patrick Mahomes is one of those guys. There's never been a lot of guys in history that can do the things that he does. Exactly. I think we get a little bit spoiled sometimes when we watch the highlights and things like that. I mean, you got to understand how special a guy like that is. And like a lot of other teams don't have that either. So it's not like you're missing out on something by not having a guy that can do what Patrick Mahomes does. Not a lot of people can. Not a lot of people have ever been able to.
No, he's going to go down in NFL history. Like he's a special, like we have not seen, I would say, something like a Patrick Mahomes. Like he brought something new to the league. So you don't see that. You just don't. It's probably not even generational. Probably even more than that. But yeah, I do like Kellen Mond. Overall, a great player. It looks like each year he just continued to get better. If you're looking for a guy who could sling the ball downfield, and that's something that kind of scared you about Mac Jones, that's something you're going to get here with Kellen Mond. 298 attempts, 188 completions in 10 games, 63% completion rate, 2,282 yards, averaging 7.7 yards per throw, 19 touchdowns, 3 interceptions, 103.6 passer rating. For the most part,
I really like his touchdown to interception ratio. Yep, like you just said, takes care of the ball. Absolutely.
And I think that's a big reason that I think Belichick would like him too. Is like that's the big thing. I say the big thing that is like important, especially at the quarterback position, but just I guess any position in football would be like consistency and availability. And I think that's something that he would bring tremendously to the Patriots offense. You don't really got to worry about it. So
no doubt.
I agree with this pick. I mean, like you said, maybe it's a little too high, but you know, in the end, you don't want to take the chance. And if that's
I wouldn't want to risk going to the third round to try and get it.
Yeah, I agree.
We already have a ton of picks. I mean, like I said, if that's our guy, you know, draft him now. Go get him.
And I actually have Kellen Mond as the sixth best quarterback after the top 5 guys. That's actually that's how I feel. Like,
yeah. I mean, that's not unreasonable. I totally see that.
I don't really care for Davis Mills or even Trask for that part. I would have it go the top 5 guys, then Kellen Mond, then Trask, and then so on and so forth. So I like the addition of Kellen Mond as a guy you kind of sit for a few years. He's not a guy you want to start right away, that's for sure, but they don't have to do that. So I like it. Even learning from Cam Newton, I think, could be really good.
Right. Similar type of players. Mon not really as big, but similar type of styles.
I agree. So the thing that I hate about PFF and their simulators, you can't like see, like if you pause it, you can't see who's still on the board, which is just annoying as heck. I hate that. But I do like the idea of trading back up into the second. I still think there's really good value here. And obviously we have so many picks, and especially because we didn't trade up into the first or, you know, trade up into the second. I think trading back into the second could be a first good move to help compile some of these draft picks. Yeah. So, I mean, I'm down with doing that. So I think that's a good route to go. My question is, where do I want to trade back in? So we had, what pick do we have here? We selected Mond at 46. I kind of like the idea of trading with the Titans at 53. Real quick, y'all, I am looking at the chat. I do want to get to your donations real quick and give each of you a shout out for the donations again. Each and every single one of you who are here watching this live, I do want to do this face-to-face because we did get donations. That, of course, is the respectful thing to do. I do want to thank you guys all for being here. It truly does mean a lot. You know, guys taking out your time to watch this live mock draft with my boy here. So I do appreciate each and every single one of you for being here. I do want to get, again, to the donations. Let me scroll up. Give your boy a second. Keep in mind, y'all, I'm on StreamYard and not YouTube, so that's why it's taking me a little bit longer. Frick, I want to get to this dang donation. So many comments, y'all. Just give me 1 second.
That's awesome.
I do want to give also a huge shout out to my boy Neil Ray for the big donation. Again, another longtime supporter, another guy who is a Patreon, goes that extra mile, gets exclusive content, joins us in our Patriots Discord. Honestly, bro, I'll probably add you to that. You can just talk with us. You know that. You know, nice. I think it'd be good to get another, like, you know, Patriots ambassador into that group chat.
Yeah, that'd be awesome, man. I would love that.
So I'll definitely add you to that. But again, if any of you do want to join that Discord, just becoming a Patreon is how you can get access to that, along with multiple other benefits like exclusive content from me. But you said you forgot my first super chat. Let me know what you said in your first super chat. Unfortunately, for some reason, it didn't show up on here. I don't know why that is. So let me know what you said, and I'll try to if you said anything, and I'll answer it if it was a question or whatever. But you said, oh, unless this was your question, you said, do you think we will get Mond? I like him. Hope all is well with you. You'll be big one day, bro. Go. How do you feel about Bateman in the first round? I want Hayward if we can't trade Gilly or give him an extension or extend JC. Straight off the bat, again, Neil Ray, bro, thank you, and I appreciate it. I appreciate the love. I appreciate the support. Most importantly, I appreciate the comment. And I believe in that I'll be big one day. Cross your fingers, y'all. Your boy did just get accepted into Full Sail University. So
awesome, man.
Here I come, Florida. Here I come, Florida, for sports broadcasting.
All right.
So,
all right.
Cross our fingers, boys. Cross our fingers.
Absolutely.
But I think Mond is a very reasonable option. I know the Patriots didn't send at least one scout, at least one to his pro day, so they are interested in him. Yeah. I think they do like these top 5 guys, but if they do miss out, I think Mond is like that top guy you go after, and I could see them targeting him also. So I definitely do think it is a possibility, especially because you need a long-term guy. I don't know. Right. You look at it, and they signed Cam Newton to a 1-year deal. They took this long to sign him again, and then they only signed him to a 1-year deal. Clearly, they don't think he's the future, and he's going to be a free agent at the end of this season.
No, yeah, it's really probably just a year-by-year arrangement. It's probably going to be.
They clearly have a different route. They clearly have a different route that they're thinking at the quarterback position. So I would definitely say that it's And
even if Cam were to have an exceptional season this year, I mean, you still need a guy to develop going forward. I mean, is Jarrett Stidham that? I don't know. I mean, I haven't really seen anything to tell me that he is. I mean, I think they're still going to be interested in drafting a guy, whether Cam has a great year or not.
Yeah, I agree. I say, like, at best, if Cam comes back, they'll just continue to sign him to 1-year deals. I don't think they're going to sign anything long. So that's what I think. But I do like Mond. How do I feel about Bateman in the first round? Honestly, I'm not. Player. He's a good player, but I'm not huge on drafting Bateman in the first.
Yeah.
Honestly, like, there's few receivers personally that I would draft in the first round. I think there's a lot of good receivers that you can get in the second, third, fourth round. So I wouldn't draft a guy there in the first. But like if we're talking about like a Smith, a Waddle, a Chase, those guys I would be totally willing to draft in the first round. I don't think they drop to the Patriots. Maybe they do, maybe they don't. But I'd be cool with drafting them in the first. But if we're going to talk about Bateman, I just think that I'd probably pass on that just because I think there's other better skill positions you could go after. So I'd personally skip. But I do agree. I mean, I would even add Hayward. I would add Hayward, you know, whether they get rid of Gilly or JC Jackson, he'd definitely be a name free agency wise that I would look into bringing in. 100%. I agree with you, Neil Ray. That's something I thought when he was released. I even thought maybe Desmond King.
We're talking about Casey Hayward.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I think that he would be.
Desmond King's a really good player too. That's.
I honestly, I kind of wish that they brought him in, but I also understand maybe they don't necessarily need it right now. We got another donation here real quick. My boy, I want to give you a shout out. You have been another constant supporter over the last few, I would say, live streams. So I want to give a huge shout out to you, my man. You said
stay out my lunchbox,
everyone. Oh my God, wait, you got that?
Barely.
So
I don't know how I can read that, but it kind of clicked.
When he first donated, I had no clue how to say it. He had to actually tell me how. And then so you got it straight off the bat. And I just looked. So damn, I don't know how you got that. It's like another language. I don't know. I don't know Spanish, but I can read that. I don't know. So my guy, appreciate you for being here again. Thank you for your donation. Shout out to you, and of course, shout out to everybody else too, like you mentioned. Make sure we didn't get anything else. Neil Ray, you said, PG, can I get a shout out? It's my birthday. Yes, sir. Shout out to Neil Ray on his birthday. Man. Yeah, giving you a surprise birthday live stream. It doesn't get much better than that.
That's awesome.
It doesn't get much better than that. So huge shout out to our big supporter, Neil Ray, longtime supporter, man. I really do hope that you have a great birthday. You take it easy. Most importantly, you stay safe. I mean, hopefully your birthday was at least a little bit special. And if it wasn't, hopefully we can make that, just a tad bit better for you. So I again do like the idea of trading back. I feel like the Titans might be a good pick at 53 just because, I mean, obviously some familiarity there doesn't hurt anyone.
Yeah.
53. So we're going to try to make a pick with the Titans. I don't want to give up the third round. I'd be cool with giving up a fourth rounder and something else. Let's see what it is. But for 53, I'll give we have what, 3 fourth rounders? Should I give them 120?
Yeah, I mean that's right next to one. Yeah, I mean we got 2 picks within 3 picks of each other. So yeah, if I was going to trade a pick, that would be the first one I look at.
So we're obviously going to have to give them more. So do we? Nah, I don't really love the idea of adding a 2022 pick.
Yeah, that's kind of hard because you don't really know how it's going to shake out.
I didn't know we actually have 3 7th rounders already for 2022. Jesus.
Wow.
I know. Huh. It goes 1, 2, 3, 4. We don't have a 5th, so it goes 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 7, 7.
Wow.
Yeah, so we're already compiling a little bit in the later rounds. I'm thinking we'll probably. Do you think they'd accept a 6th, or will I have to give up a 5th?
Try 6th first, and if they don't like that,
go
to the 5th.
All right, so we're gonna try to give them our first 4th rounder and a 6th rounder for 53. They say no. Damn it! All right, let's try. Do I really got to give you my dang 5th? All right, whatever. The thing that sucks too is I could see them drafting a kicker, but PFF doesn't allow you to draft a kicker.
Oh, really? Is that? Yeah. Oh, that's not a. Oh, wow.
That's weird, right?
Oh, I never noticed that.
Very weird. Okay, so I'm actually not willing to give up anything more than this.
Yeah, no, I mean, yeah, you got a line. You can only, there's only so much you can be willing to give up for that.
So it seems like they want to keep that. Is there another team that I could trade with? What's a realistic team that would be willing to trade?
Maybe the Saints. I mean, they may want to collect a lot of draft picks because of their cap situation. Get a lot of guys on those rookie deals.
That's a good point.
Even though I know they really corrected a lot of that cap stuff, but they may not want to take on a lot of salary either.
That's a good point. Yeah, let's try the Saints. I feel like that's a good one. If it wasn't the Saints, I probably would went with the Dolphins.
I cannot believe how they somehow got back into compliance after being $70 million over the cap.
Dude, how are they going to perform in this upcoming season? That's one of my big question marks. I'm excited to see. Do you think they'd be willing to accept 120 instead of 96 because it's later?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, let's try 120 first. Maybe they'll go for it. And if we got to go to 96, if that's what we want to do, we can do that. Right. I would always try and do the later picks first to see if they
definitely see if we can make them bite. I know that there's a whole point value for draft picks. I'm just not.
Yeah, like I think, who was it? Jimmy Johnson made up that chart. I mean, I don't know too much about it, but I just know he made one like draft pick value.
Yeah, I need to find that because I know that CLNS uses that a lot. I'm just like not totally sure how that all works, like point wise. But let's try to give him a 4th and our first 6th.
Yeah, let's do it.
Oh wait, shoot. Frank. No, I don't want to force the trade. I want it to be realistic. Will they accept this? Okay, no. What if I sweetened it and gave you a higher 6th round? Slightly.
Everybody's playing hardball, man. Oh, man.
And we got
there
it.
We go.
There we go. It just took a little bit of a higher 6th round pick. Just a little bit. Just a little bit. Let me make sure there's nothing going on in the stream. Hold up. Why is it like not popping up? Real quick, I do want to give a quick shout out to the $5 donation from my boy Nate. He said, is there any position in the draft that you would not want them to go with at 15th overall? A position I wouldn't want them to go with, tight end.
Yeah. I had somebody ask me earlier, do you still think we could get Pitts at 15? I'm like, no. I mean, I wouldn't. As great as Kyle Pitts is, don't get me wrong, he's going to be a great player. I mean, you're gonna have how many tight ends can you play at one time? I mean, it was a big position of need last year, but we doubled down on it. We got Hunter Henry, we got Jonnu Smith. It's not really a need anymore, and we just have too many other. We're not in a position to make luxury picks like that. I mean, we got too many other things that we still need to fill before we start thinking like that. Yeah,
no, and I totally forgot to go back to this one. I completely agree with you. I also think that, we have guys signed 3-4 year contracts, and I don't believe in just drafting him to switch him to a wide receiver. I think in the end, he is still a tight end. You don't want to mess with that. You don't want to mess with that in the first round. So I think tight end you don't want to go with. I would even say center I wouldn't go with. I wouldn't mind. I mean, I don't know how much I love a guard in the first round either. But
no, you'd have to be a transcendent type of player, like a Zach Martin, to want to take a
and I don't think there's any of those in here. So I would say like center, guard, tight end. Other than that, though, I don't think I would hate. Like I wouldn't
go safety in the first round either.
Yeah, I wouldn't go safety in the first round. I just don't think there's anyone in the first round that's worth it. But in the end, I wouldn't like.
Although there is a kid that I really like who's kind of obscure right now. His name is Hamza Nazarilladine from Florida State. Okay. I don't know if you ever seen. He looks like Cam Chancellor reincarnated. I mean, the dude is like 6'4", 235, just a thumper, running all around, making plays. I mean, he looks like he could be something special.
There's a safety that I like that I keep drafting that is always super high on the board and just continues to like drop down. I'll forget his name. He'll pop up here in a second once we get to our pick. His name, whoopsies. Jamar Johnson. Do you know Jamar Johnson?
No, I haven't heard much about him. I know Indiana had a pretty good team last year, but no, I didn't hear much about him.
So I really do like Jamar Johnson, and he's someone that keeps dropping down, so I think could be good value. I'm not going to draft him here, obviously, but to just show you real quick. So a 6'1", 197-pound safety. They gave him a 1st to 2nd round grade. I've gotten him, I think, like the 5th before. Somehow, I don't know.
Well, I mean, how. That's great value, though. I mean, if you kind of throw that out the window do I need this position? Well, I mean, if you have a guy that could have gone in the 2nd round, you can get him in the 5th round. I mean, now you got to look at kind of like a business standpoint. That's just tremendous value.
Yeah. And they've graded him pretty well. I mean, 89.2, 2018, 80.1, 2019, 77.2 in 2020. Only thing is, like, he hasn't played too much. I would say, yeah, they even say his biggest weakness is experience. 8 games in 2020, 13, 2019, 5 in 2018. So not too much to go after, but we've seen guys with a less. They have his NFL comparison to John Johnson III. So I think if the Patriots could get like a John Johnson, that'd be
he's a good
nice
player.
pick. That'd be a nice pick, especially because they never replaced Daron Harmon. And within a year or two, Devin McCourty is going to be out the door.
Right.
So, obviously, safety is a bigger need than I think people realize.
I mean, Chung gone. Like you said, McCourty's going to be gone soon.
Adrian Phillips in contract year.
I mean, we expect Duggar to be there, but I mean, he looks like he's going to be more that
Chung role.
Yes, exactly. He's going to play a lot in the box, probably cover the tight ends. We're going to need that guy truly on the back end to kind of be the quarterback of the defense. And, we're going to have to find a guy like that once Devin leaves. Yeah,
I don't think you're going to see him in the back too much in the backfield in the secondary. There's a lot of great guys, so obviously always hard to where do I want to go with this? Eric Stokes is another great corner. There's a wide receiver I love. Oh my God, I would love the Patriots to grab. Obviously, I'm not going to freaking get him in the second.
Have you heard about Tutu Atwell?
I have. I've seen him go pretty in the later rounds also. I wouldn't mind seeing him going like later rounds. Have you heard the Patriots met with him, which is originally why I actually even thought about it. And my big thing with this year's draft is I think the Patriots are, because of the whole virus and everything, you can't really meet with players in the combine. Right. They're gonna heavily rely on like players that have tape, but most importantly, guys that they've met with. So I think it's gonna be super important to keep a guy eye on who they meet with. I like Jalen Darden, but that's not the guy I'm talking about. Where is he? I don't think he got selected.
Martin Rogers might be a pretty good one too in the later rounds.
At the same time, Did he get selected? Are you serious?
How did this happen?
There's no way this dude got selected already. Are you kidding me? No, there he is. Dwayne Escridge. You ever heard of him?
No, I'll have to study up on him.
Patriots met with him. Big receiver. I've heard he can play on the outside, mostly more like a slot guy. A Troy Brown is what they say. Only like a slot guy, a Troy Brown type of guy, not more of like a Julian Edelman, Wes Welker type of guy. I've seen him play at, I believe, tight end before, but mainly he's a wide receiver, but special teams ability galore, a gunner, everything. Like, this is like your classic Belichick guy.
If they speak about him in the same breath as Troy Brown, then that says a lot.
I've seen him go before Jalen Darden, actually, believe it or not. Kind of surprising, but I mean, what are your thoughts on Walker Little?
It seems like Stanford always churns out great offensive linemen. Strangely, I mean, it seems like the Pac-12, it's not really much of a physical conference. It's more of a outside kind of 7-on-7 style of conference, but Stanford's kind of the exemption as far as stylistically, that they always have that kind of ground and pound type of team, and they always just seem to churn out those great offensive linemen.
Something that I don't like is the fact, like, players that didn't play in 2020. Like, I'm not huge on those guys.
I wouldn't spend high draft picks on them. No.
I
mean, if a guy like Adrian Peterson sat out for a year, you know how great he's going to be. But a lot of guys that are on the edge in like the second or third round, that really kind of hurts you.
Yeah, for sure. Honestly, like, I thought about taking a tackle here, but I also feel like it's the Patriots could take a tackle in like the 6th and be fine. They could take a tackle in the 3rd and be good. So I don't necessarily think they'll take a tackle in the 2nd round. And I'm honestly thinking of this pick, and I feel like I'm going to get a lot of hate, but I'm kind of looking at Jabril Cox here a little bit. And I know that a lot of people,
I picked him in the 2nd round before.
I know a lot of people are probably going to be like, yo, a linebacker in the 2nd, but this is a different type of linebacker in the sense of, you look at all the linebackers the Patriots currently have, and like, what do they all do? They're off the ball. They're, set the edge guys. But with Jabril Cox, he's a coverage linebacker. Who can you really say
Don't have a
the
guy like that
Patriots
right
have
now.
as a coverage linebacker. I
Yeah.
mean,
It's definitely not Dante Hightower. It's, Van Noy plays in coverage a little bit. Matthew Judon's a pass rusher. Winovich is a pass rusher. So, yeah, I mean, they don't really have that great coverage linebacker.
Yeah, I mean, Jawan Bentley definitely not a coverage linebacker at all.
No.
We saw that. They don't have it. We can look a little bit on him for those who don't know. He's been graded pretty dang well, coming from LSU also, which I do like. Good college, 72.8 in 2020, 80.3 in 2019, 84.1 in 2018. Let's look at a little bit more of his profile.
LSU also wasn't a very good team last year. They lost a lot of guys from that national championship team.
Yeah, that's probably why his grade kind of
when you don't have a lot of talent around you, it's harder to succeed, especially if you're a great player, because that's less people that the other team has to worry about.
And I feel like you look at like his build too, 6'4", 231 pounds.
That's great size for a linebacker.
That is a really great size for a linebacker. They have him going in the second round too, so it's not like we're pushing. We're like at the end of the second round. So they say that Cox has ideal traits and a proven track record of performance. So it sounds like consistency is something we will get with him. He said they also say that we can therefore overlook some of the run defense issues. I feel like the Patriots kind of bulked up the defensive line, so I don't see this being as much of an issue.
They probably wouldn't play him on early downs either. I mean, he wouldn't be playing in a lot of run situations. He'd probably be playing on third downs, third and longs.
Yeah, and my only concern with like drafting him was like, well, the Patriots do have safeties who play like hybrid linebacker, but at the same time, like that's not something you love. Like you don't always want your safeties playing as linebackers.
Teams could sneak in a run in there and kind of pop one sometimes on third down and catch you sleeping a little bit.
Exactly. So you don't necessarily love that. They love his smoothness, not really his play strength. Really, and this is another thing that I liked when I read about him. Pressed man against tight ends looked like child's play, and he's easy to mirror. That is just
wow. Yeah, that stands out. Yeah.
That stands out very well. Productive in two defensive schemes, versatile. So I just think that he'd be a really good Patriots player. Coverage grade of 83.5. Pass rush grade of 76.7. So it even looks like he can get to the quarterback and even set the edge. So that's something that the Patriots get out of him too. Not a great run defender, but again, I'm not too concerned because of just everything else that he.
They probably wouldn't even use him that way. I mean, they probably, Belichick, he's going to accentuate players' strengths rather than put them in a position to fail. He's going to find what you do good and make sure and really accentuate that and put you in that position.
Exactly. So I love Jabril Cox here. So I'm gonna select him. And obviously now we're gonna go with your pick. Is there anything you're looking to do with this third rounder? Are you looking to trade up, stay where you are, trade back? Obviously, we have it's gonna be 1/3 here with 96 because of the whole, Spygate or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, what was that?
That was BS.
Yeah, something about the Bengals and all that. Yeah.
Oh my god, that's a whole other story. Like you don't need to freaking copy the Bengals. Like they were gonna win that game. It's still Tom Brady. Like
that's what I was thinking. Of all teams to try and spy on, why would you spy on a team that's going to have the number 1 pick in the draft?
That's why I firmly believe that the Patriots just didn't. And people will say it's because I'm a Patriots fan, but I truly believe like they didn't do it. I believe that it was a miscommunication with the filming crew. Like that was on them, and of course the Patriots got the heat for it.
Yeah, that was likely an honest mistake. I really don't see anything nefarious there.
Like why they had Brady, like they had Belichick at that point too. You don't. The Bengal, like
my God, let me see what Mike Zimmer's doing. We got to catch up to him.
Seriously, like what the heck? All right, so what are you going to look to do here?
Zach Taylor. No, Mike Zimmer's not even the coach anymore.
Yeah, forgot about that. So we're at 96 because we forfeited. We'd have had 77, 76, one of those. I think 77.
Yeah, this might be a good area to trade out.
You want to trade out of the third?
Yeah, because I mean, with trading back up to 60, I mean, and looking at the amount of picks that we have left.
Yeah.
I mean, looking at next year, we don't have a 5, don't have a 6. Maybe try to get another 4 or 5 next year.
Wait, shoot. Hold on.
Or even a couple picks, maybe. I mean, we are still in the third round.
Okay, let me resume and get to our pick then. Let's see.
Or third round, fourth round, I should say.
Elijah Moore just went. That's not bad value.
No.
in the third. It's a pretty good pickup for them. Let's see. Check the chat. See if anything else is going on with y'all.
Jamie Newman at 74 to Washington.
Wow. Honestly, it's a good fit.
Eric Stokes. That's a good one.
see
Ifeatu Melifonwu at 81. Wow, I thought he'd be available like maybe in the later rounds.
There's some flirting going on in the chat. All right, so we did get did get a couple more donies. Hold up. All right. There we go. All right. So from Ocean, thank you so much for that, for the donation and then just being here in the channel and supporting us. You said we need Dwayne Escridge. He's a hidden gem. I do agree. I do agree that he's a hidden gem. I think that he could be good. I do think that he just serves very good value from like top to bottom. So
you put him on my list, man. I gotta check him out. I never heard of him before that.
Yeah,
I gotta
check him
see
out.
what he's about.
Check him out. I think that you'll fall in love with him. Just a great player. Just a great player in the slot, and the versatility on special teams is just bizarre. So yeah, I just see that that's classic.
That's great too.
So I agree with you, Ocean. Steven, you said sup PG. What is going on, my man? You said thoughts on trading up for a franchise wide receiver. Chase, I've used PFF and was able to trade fourth 187 for our. Okay.
Wow,
what are your thoughts on that?
That's quite a bit. I mean, I don't know if I would go that aggressive. If that was the only thing we really needed to address, then I would say maybe go for it. But I mean, to give up all those picks, I mean, that's quite a lot. And if we were going to go up to 4, I wouldn't be looking for Jamar Chase. I'd be looking for a quarterback at that point. Yeah.
I don't think you trade that high up for a wide receiver. I still think that, look, if you want your choice at the top 3, okay, then maybe. But I don't think the Patriots would be that, that kind of desperate at this position after all they did in free agency, especially because, again, I think there is good value from top to bottom. And the fact that, let's remember the Patriots only drafted one wide receiver in the Belichick era in the first round. That was N'Keal Harry. We saw that did not go out very well. So,
although I could kind of see what he's saying. I mean, maybe if a quarterback falls, but I would go quarterback. If you were going to do that, I'd go quarterback at 4, then look at wide receiver at 15, because it looks like we're keeping 15 in his scenario.
Yeah, but
that's still a lot, though.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think that they gave a little bit too much up for a wide receiver. We don't have, I would say, like a plethora of needs like for this year. I do still think we have some, but not a whole plethora. But again, you do still kind of want to compile some of those for next year and whatnot. So, just to grab one guy, I don't necessarily think I would. But if maybe they trade up from 15 to maybe like to 10 or 8 or something, maybe depending on how much you're giving up and who the wide receiver is. I'm a big fan of Waddle, but I'm not trading all the way up to like 4th and giving up the whole house just for one of those guys.
No,
it's a good thought though. I mean, I've had this question a lot, so I'm glad I could finally address it. So shout out to you again, man, for the donation. Really appreciate it. All right, make sure we got nothing else. Oh, do we get a? All right. Where is it? Okay, so here. So we're gonna trade out here. We have 29. Oh my god, 29 teams contacting us about a trade. That's
good.
I don't know how like realistic that is.
No, yeah, I don't.
Are the Saints? I'm guessing the Saints are the highest. Yeah. The Saints are offering a trade.
Trade down 2 spots, or for them to trade up 2 spots.
Yeah. Is there a team that you look at and you're like, all right, let's go with them?
To me, it's really not even about finding a team to trade with at this point. I think just for us, it's looking at the numbers of the amount of draft picks that we're going to have. Like you said, and like we talked about at the top, we're not going to make all these draft picks. We got to kind of package something toward the future at some point. So maybe if we trade this pick, a couple picks next year in the middle rounds, maybe like a 4 and a 5. So I don't think we have any 4s or 5s next year. Or I think maybe we had a 4, but we didn't have any 5s
we have
or
a
6s.
4. We don't have a 5. Yeah, so
That would be the
go,
ideal scenario. Maybe if we can try and do that.
Did you want to go with did you want to try the Saints, or do you think we should go with a later team?
Let's what are they offering? Is it just 98?
Well, this just says what their next pick is.
Oh, it doesn't show you what they would give us back, does it?
No, yeah, you kind of make that.
Oh, okay. I mean, yeah, let's see what the Saints will do.
All right. So if we have the Saints, go down. This box is bizarrely small. So they want 96. So we would give them 96 in exchange. So this is the third round. Do you think that they give us a second? It's something we should try.
I mean, yeah. Let's try it. And the worst I can do is say no. Then we can come back with a lesser offer.
Then we'd be like, all right, it's fine. So yeah, we're gonna try to give them 96 in exchange for a 2022 second offer trade, and they took it.
Wow,
they took it.
Great call, man. I wouldn't have even thought of that. That's a great idea.
That's crazy. That? Honestly, again, especially if you're the Saints, you had to release so many players that you're kind of desperate. Yeah, okay, fine, I'll trade up. I need these players right now, because you don't want to drop off significantly. So we got a second round pick for this year's third, and we're cooking already for next year. So I like that. I like that. That was a good trade. That was a really good trade.
That is awesome.
I didn't even think of that. So yeah, it was a good move. All right. So I think next we enter the fourth.
Yeah. I think we got 2-4. Oh, 2-2 out. Well, one. Yeah.
No, I feel like he went kind of soon. I would love to look at maybe a running back here, 3 or 4, or 4 or 5 maybe. But
I don't know why. I just see some Tyreek Hill in him. I mean, I don't know if he'll ever become that kind of player, but 4.2. He's just so explosive.
Is Tutu Atwell that guy that you had in your mock draft before?
Yes. Yeah. I had us taking him the third or the fourth, I think, way back. I mean,
is that really fast guy?
Yeah, not a big receiver, but that's what made me think of Tyreek Hill. Like I said, I don't know if he'll ever develop it, because Tyreek Hill was originally just a fast guy who became a great receiver.
Yeah.
But he has similar speed. Explosive on kick returns, maybe shot plays here and there throughout the game.
And Dwayne Escridge just went, so maybe I should have traded up. That's fine. I should have thought about that. I totally forgot. It's whatever. So I'm sure Darden is still here, but is he?
Thinking receiver?
I like Jalen Darden, but I'm also thinking about the long-term longevity of the running back group.
Yeah.
And I want to see who's there. I want to see if my guys are still there. Demetric Felton. Do you know Demetric Felton?
No.
James White. Let me just say that.
Oh, so he's a James White type of guy.
He is probably, honestly, okay, so I'm pretty sure most Patriots fans have him going. Let me see. Yeah, look, 17% of the people have the Patriots selecting him. He's a really he wouldn't be there by our next pick for sure.
Well, if he's that pass catching type of running back, that's a definite.
Yeah, that's exactly who he is. Huge pass catching guy. I believe he is the guy that used to be a slot receiver and then went into running back. I believe that's who this is.
Okay.
Not a huge guy, 5'10", but 200 pounds at running back. They have him as
that's about perfect slot receiver size, which is, you think about it, slot receiver and, that kind of receiving back type of position, even though it's not an official position, it's kind of like a quasi position that these days in the NFL, it's kind of interchangeable.
Yeah. So they say that Felton is a modern slot running back hybrid who can create mismatches in the passing game.
Well, that's perfect.
Yeah. So, and the other thing I like about him, biggest strength is shiftiness, right? So like your Shane Vereen, Deion Lewis, James White type of guy, which I like. I like that because if you look at our current running back core,
we don't have that guy.
Yeah, exactly. They have power backs. It's power back, power back, power back. Every single guy.
Like there's JJ Taylor, but is he going to be able to produce at that high of a level? I don't think so.
Yeah. Except for JJ Taylor, obviously we haven't really seen much of JJ Taylor to say, hey, we know what we're going to get.
He seems like more of a return man than anything. I mean, unless he takes a big step forward.
Yeah, so it's just there's so much question marks with him that I'm not really willing to like bet my life on him.
No.
But I think he could be good. But not willing to bet my life on him, like I said. Running between the tackles, they say is his biggest weakness, but he's really mainly a receiver. Yeah, former slot receiver who could still play there. So that even brings depth to the wide receiver group. So it's kind of like killing two birds with one stone in a way. I mean, obviously, if Darden
put him in motion
to
kind of declare the defense. So they're on third down, maybe for a younger quarterback that could really help him out.
Yeah, and I mean, like even if like a Darden is there, like say in like the next pick, I mean, I would still get him. But if you get Demetric Felton again, it's kind of like killing two birds with one stone. His NFL comparison is Justin Forsett, if you remember.
Oh yeah,
him or not?
Yeah,
that's who they have him compared to. I'm not too huge on comparison, just because it doesn't necessarily mean that's who they're going to be, but it gives you kind of like a little bit of an insight. So I do still like to kind of see.
That's great. I mean, yeah, that's a definite need. I mean, we re-signed James White, but I don't see him being here after next year.
Exactly. They signed him to just a 1-year deal, and I think they probably did that for a reason. Who knows with Rex Burkhead? You don't really have that pass-catching running back outside of James White, so you need that. They also said that he put on a significant amount of muscle to get to an every down size. So it sounds like he's an every down linebacker also, which is just significant for the Pats.
Wow.
Did it say how many? Okay, yeah, it does. He had 159 receiving yards in 2020. He was targeted 26 times, 22 receptions, 594 receiving yards in 2019. I should say that he played in 6 games in 2020, 12 games in 2019, was targeted 68 times in 2019, 54 receptions, had 5 touchdowns in 2020, 1 touchdown in 2019.
He looks like a great fit for that role.
Yeah. I mean, 668 yards on 132 attempts, averaging 5.1 yards per carry.
5 yards to carry on the ground and 159 receiving yards on 22 catches. Wow.
5.4 yards in 2018. So, and that's as a running back, and we're hyping him up as a pass-catching running back. So I really like Demetric Felton. I know that the Patriots met with him.
That's great.
I think NBC Boston did like an interview with him, and I watched it, and he did really good. So I'm gonna take Demetric Felton here. Maybe some people say it's a little high to take a running back, but honestly, it's a need, and it's kind of killing two birds with one stone. And he's just a classic Patriot. So I'm gonna take Demetric Felton.
No, I'm with that definitely.
All right, so I'm gonna pause this real quick. Check the chat. What do you want to do here now? I believe the next pick is what, 139. I think. What's that? Is that a fifth? Are we in the 5th round then? Or are we still in the 4th?
I think that's maybe I'm not sure.
Oh, okay, yeah. It's the last pick in the 4th. So you kind of want to, maybe what do you want to do with that?
Well, how many more picks do we have? Let's see, 1, 2, 3, at least 3.
Yeah, we have. We have 1, 2.
We got 4 picks left. Let's. We've already made 4 picks. Let's try and trade this one. Let's try and get a mid-round pick next year.
Mid-round.
And maybe a 4 or a 5.
All right. What is going on in the chat? All right. Let me make sure we didn't get any other. Just out of curiosity, what's your rankings for like the top 5 quarterbacks? Like, how would your rankings go to rank the top 5?
I would say, obviously Trevor Lawrence number 1. Mm-hmm. To me, Zach Wilson looks good, but Justin Fields did it at a big school, and he did it more consistently. So I would still put him at 2. I'd put Zach Wilson at 3. Trey Lance, I just don't know enough about him. We saw him for 1 year last year. There's just too much iffy for him. I mean, I don't know. I would put Mac Jones a little bit ahead of him, and that a lot of people might be surprised by that. I think he's not the system quarterback a lot of the media makes him out to be. I think he was a bigger reason for Alabama's success rather than being a product of Alabama's success. And I would kind of put him in a tie with Trey Lance, kind of like a 4A and a 4B. I think those are kind of interchangeable at that point, but I would probably give the slight edge to Mac just based on the body of work and just the amount of unknown with Trey Lance. I mean, he might be an incredible player, or he might just be kind of one of those average type of guys. I just don't know about him yet.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like Trey Lance is kind of like boom or bust. That's kind of my opinion. If I had to like shorten it to a few words, it'd be boom or bust.
Yeah.
And it's just because, like you said, he didn't play in 2020. I don't love that. He has very few, very few film. Didn't play too much, so there's not too much to say about him. And he played at a small college, so you have question marks about the competition level. I also have question marks about his accuracy, and with just all those things combined, I'm concerned. And it's not to say that I don't think he's good or won't be good.
Yeah,
I think
he
a
looks
lot of people
physically
hyped up
talented.
the pro day. Yeah, I think a lot of people hyped up the pro day, and I'm just like, look, like I'm not hyping up pro days too much. They're pro days, and you're playing with your teams at this point, right?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm looking more at like
shorts.
Senior Bowl. If you can play well at the Senior Bowl, that's something else. And like Mac Jones is someone who
Mac showed out at the Senior Bowl. Yep.
Kellen Mond was what, MVP of the Senior Bowl? Crazy.
Yes, yeah, that's right. That's right.
So, like that's things I put more stock into. Like with Justin Fields, everyone's hyping up the pro day, and he looked great. Don't get me wrong, and I love Justin Fields. I wouldn't mind seeing them take Justin Fields.
He also had 2 pro days. Not a lot of people do that.
Yeah, and my other thing with that is like the big questions with Fields is his question marks with pass rush and defenders up in his face. That's where his question marks come in. And when you're at your pro day, that you're not in pads, helmet, no one's rushing you. Yeah. It's like, okay,
7-on-7.
Yeah, like all of the question marks you have aren't being displayed. So I'm not really, it's like, okay. So you want to trade this pick. I'm just going to give you a quick overview of anyone in case you change your mind. Just to make sure that there's no one you're like, oh wait, he's there. I want to grab him. So this is the board. Nothing. I wouldn't say it's anything.
Well, we've already taken Jabril Cox. I was looking at Jamin Davis. I mean, that might be a pretty good value pick, but we already took Jabril Cox, so that we can probably not worry about that. Khalil here. Justin Hillard, nah. Trey Brown, nah. I mean, I don't think so.
No,
there's nobody that really entices me here.
I'm actually surprised that Benjamin St. Juice is still there. I'm surprised. I mean, we got a cornerback already, so I'm not like, oh, we need to get him. But I'm just surprised that he's there. I feel like he would have won already.
Right.
All right. Yeah, we have 20 teams who are willing to trade with us. So yeah, we can trade out of this then. Hello. All right. So you want to try to see the Rams? Their next pick is 141.
Yeah, let's see what we can finesse them out of. Maybe a 3rd round pick next year. Can't believe the Saints went for that 2nd round pick. That's awesome,
dude. I know, right? Like sometimes, especially when it's the higher rounds, you can really finesse teams. Sometimes, yeah, you really can. So 139. And what? This is a 4th round. So maybe we get like a 3rd rounder out of them.
Yeah, let's try it.
Oh, well, they have 2 3rd rounders. So I think that.
Oh, yeah.
That's very realistic. All right. So a 2022 3rd rounder in exchange for our 2021 4th rounder. I really think that they should accept this. And they did.
Boom.
And
there we go. Right on.
Look at us. I like what we're
wheeling and dealing.
I like what we're compiling. This 2022 draft is looking good. And the thing, too, is like if things don't work out and they want to trade up for a quarterback next year, they could easily do it now because you have the draft capital.
Yeah.
No matter how they pan out in.
If only we could save these trades and use them in the 2022 PFF mock draft simulator.
Dude, right? Oh, my God. That'd be awesome. That'd be really good. Just like take a picture and like force the trades.
Right.
That's what we're gonna have to do at that point.
You approved it last year, so it should be good this year.
Yeah. Where are we in the 5th round? 177?
Yeah, 177 is the next one.
Usually this is where they take like a special teamer, but
yeah.
Don't need a punter. They don't take kickers here, so kind of puts us in an awkward place. Maybe safety here, depending on who's there.
Yep,
I wouldn't hate that. Point. I wouldn't hate that at all.
What do you think about Roberto Aguayo on the practice squad? I think him and Folk will compete for the job next year.
I don't hate him. I'm not going to hold my breath on him just because like he was great coming out of college and coming into the NFL, and he just like
didn't do much at Tampa when they.
It was just like, what the heck happened?
It's like he forgot how to kick.
Yeah, it's like, dude, what happened to you?
I'm not gonna lie. I follow him on Instagram, and he was doing some like workout videos. He kicked the ball and this is no joke. Go look it up if you want. He kicked the ball. He was aiming for the upright. He said, watch, I'm going to hit this upright. Nailed the upright on the right. All right, now I'm going to get the other upright. Nailed the upright on the left. I'm like, okay, well, that's pretty damn accurate. Hopefully you can make them in the game. But, I mean, if you have that much control over the ball, then you should be able to make every field goal, I would think.
They obviously think higher on him than they do, what's his face? That we drafted.
Justin Rohrwasser. Did they cut him, didn't they?
They cut him. Yeah, they just straight up cut him. Nothing. They were like, we're done with you. So clearly they think more of him than they do Justin Rohrwasser. So
that was a pretty weird situation. Him with that whole tattoo thing. He tried to say, I didn't know what it meant.
We should have known that it was going to go downhill when that happened. Yeah. We should have known. We should have known.
But I mean, even his answer though, I didn't know you got a tattoo of something you didn't know what it meant. I don't quite believe that. But like you said too, I mean, we should have done a little bit more homework on that, I would have thought.
I understand why Bill got him, but like at the same time, I could have told you that what is it? Rodrigo Blankenship?
Yeah. Oh yeah, with the Colts. Yeah, he's looking really good.
So I don't know. I just feel like you know what, you could have easily like taken him because he was high on boards and he turned out to be the best kicker. So it looks like we got a hate comment here.
Oh no.
We got it. We got a hate comment. So someone named John Stark said
John Starks, didn't he play for the Knicks?
Imagine that was him. He said, bro, you've given such simple remarks that you've watched from ESPN. Go do some research and come back to the grown-up table.
I'm sorry, John. I sincerely apologize.
I can speak for myself saying that thanks for the love, but honestly, like,
thanks for the watch time.
Yeah. I mean, much love to everyone though. Like, even whether you comment like something good or bad, all
feedback's appreciated.
Seriously, like all feedback is appreciated. Like, it's seriously like much love to everyone just for being here and watching us. Like you can't really get too mad. You know, someone's gonna love us a little. You know, so I mean, I love each and every single one of you guys for being here. No hate, nothing, no animosity towards anyone. Honestly, no. I appreciate all of you guys. But here in the fifth round, you guys commented in the chat. Your boys got it right. Jamar Johnson. This is the guy I told you about.
Oh, he's still there.
Still there, and I don't know what it is that has him dropping.
I don't know how he's graded at like what, a 41.
I think overall? It's the experience, maybe. Maybe it's because he's not a whole lot of experience that they have.
That's too good a value not to pass. I mean, to pass up on. I mean, that's tremendous value.
I'm not going to go too much into his profile because I mean, obviously, you already went into it. So Jamar Johnson in the 5th round, that's easy for me. That's pretty easy. That helps solidify the safety role. Yep. And we're good there. We got a corner. I'm happy with the secondary now. I'm not too concerned with what happens from here on out.
That's excellent value.
So what do you want to do? We have 2 picks left, 1 6th, 1 7th, 197 and 242. Obviously, we're still in the 5th round here. Do you want to trade into the 5th? Do you want to stay at the 6th? Do you want to trade out of, what are you looking to do?
No, I think, well, how many picks do we have next year now? We probably have quite a bit next year. Maybe next if we...
year, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. A first, a second, a third, a 4th, 7th, 7th. All
right, so we got 3 7s next year. Maybe let's try and package 197 and maybe 2 of those 7s next year and get back to this pick.
You want to go trade with
I don't think they want to make 3 7th round picks next year. So I mean, we may as well try and liquidate some of them.
Yeah, that's a good point. So you want to try to roll with what, our 197?
Yeah.
Our 197 and a next year's 7th?
Yeah, try 1 first, and if they don't do the 1, we'll do 2 of them.
To go with the Chiefs for 1. Did you want to do the Chiefs or did you want to do a later team?
Yeah, let's try the Chiefs here.
Try the Chiefs.
181.
So we're going to try to send a 2021, what is this, 6th round pick and a 2022 7th-round pick in exchange for a 2021 Chiefs 5th-round pick to trade up. Let's see what they say. And they accepted it. There we go. Nice. I like that. I think that's good value.
Yeah.
Honestly, for both teams too. For both teams. I like that. So is it gonna let me go back? Hold up. Do I have to hit trade again? Maybe.
That's weird.
There we are.
There we go.
All right. So 1 second. All right. Who are you looking at?
Man, I think at this point we've gone halfback. The kid from UCLA taking a corner. Chris Evans, I like him, but we just took a running back.
Yeah.
Robert Hainsley. I don't think we've done much on the defensive interior yet. Is that Karis Tonga? Is he probably the top ranked interior defensive lineman yet?
Is that what you're looking for? Here, let me go to.
Yeah, I think that's probably one thing we haven't really. Oh, I think there's another guy.
I think the only things we haven't touched on is defensive line and really probably defensive line and offensive line. Probably the only things we haven't done.
Yeah.
I mean, you can say wide receiver, but I mean, Demetric Felton kind of can help fill that role. So I'm not too worried there. Yeah. Where's the D line?
Yeah, let's see what's going on. Let's see if we can get a big run stopper.
So this is who you're looking at on the D line. Anyone you want to look into?
Check Kairos Tonga from BYU. Let's get some decent grades.
They had him as a 5th-round pick, and we traded back into the 5th. So you're not
right about the right place.
Pushing. Yeah, so you're not really pushing. They said that it's worrisome that Tonga didn't dominate more.
He's not really a great run player, it looks like.
With how big of a physical advantage he had. They have him at 6'4", 321 pounds.
Yeah,
strength in his hands they like, but lack of consistent dominance. Overall, what did they give him? They gave him a much better pass rush grade of a 76.5 than a run defensive grade of 67.3.
Wow, that's like the total opposite of what you would expect. Wow, that's strange.
Yeah.
I mean, to me, that's more of an effort thing. So I think that would probably cancel him out for me. Maybe let's look at that kid from Louisiana Tech. I think it was Louisiana Tech, the other guy.
You're looking at Williams?
Yeah, let's check out Milton Williams. Let's see what he looks like.
Some pretty nice grade. Looked like he was getting better each year, so cross your fingers.
Took a big jump from 2019. All right, so he's a little undersized for an interior.
Just a little bit. 5th-round pick, so it doesn't sound like we're pushing. It says, with how much Williams has grown over his college career, he's worth a late-round filler to see where his skill set ends up. They like his exploding into contact, but they don't like that size. Really good overall. He looks like, 3 games in 2018, 13 in 2019, 10 in 2020.
Coming off a great year.
Pass rush grade of 89.7, run defensive grade of 88.4, and a true pass set pass rush grade of a 91.2, and a pass rush win rate of a 20.9 and a run stop grade of 8.7.
That looks like a guy that could play maybe multiple positions, which we know Bill loves. Maybe a 3-4 defensive end, 4-3 defensive tackle, and a pass rush type of setting, maybe a 3rd and long. He's shown very well. Look at the jump from 2019 to 2020. That's almost 20 points on that grade.
Yeah.
Where we are in the 5th round, it says late round. Yeah, let's take a flyer on him. Why not? We haven't really addressed defensive line yet.
Yeah.
I say go for it.
5th round, not too bad. So let's do it. Come on. All right. I'm excited to see how they grade us.
Yeah.
At the end. So, guys, make sure you do stay to the end. We have one more pick here we're going to make, and then PFF is going to grade each individual pick, the trades, and then an overall grade, and we're going to give our thoughts on how they graded us and how we feel about this overall draft before ending it off. So make sure you guys do stay. Oh, got to resume the draft. Felipe Franks goes to the Falcons.
Wow. Mm-hmm. Figured he might go undrafted. Wow.
They also take Benjamin St. Just in the 5th.
No, the Falcons mess everything up, though.
The Falcons have a lot of picks.
Yeah.
Wow. Chris Wilcox. That is like a later round corner that I actually really like. I think that he's another guy on my big board to watch at the corner position. Like later, like mid to late round.
Yeah.
At a BYU. So I actually really like him. I drafted him before and PFF liked it. So Robert Ainsley goes. I would have liked to actually pick him in the 7th, but it's fine. I'm probably going to go tackle here. Try to address the offensive line.
Yeah, that's a good depth pick.
You know, I think that they need it, and they can do some magic here. So,
you know, and I think the talent discrepancy between the top offensive lineman and the lesser offensive lineman is probably smaller than any other position, almost any other position. I mean, it's very much a form and technique type of position. And yeah, I mean, obviously there are guys that stand out like throughout the years, you know, the Jonathan Ogdens, the, you know, Larry Allens, Orlando Pace, the great offensive linemen throughout the years. But if you can find you're more likely to find a diamond in the rough in the later rounds at that position than any other, I think.
And Josh Palmer just goes now in the 6th round to the Eagles.
That's surprising.
That is surprising. I know that he was climbing up draft boards, so that's a steal. That's a steal for them in the 6th round. It's a good pick by them. Finally, into
Kramer.
the 7th.
Kramer's a good one, a guard.
Yeah, he's a good one too. I would have considered him too, honestly, at the guard position. Guard or tackle, I mean, in the 7th round, taking a flyer on him. I mean, I wouldn't hate either or. I would just prefer tackle if we can get a good enough guy. There's obviously no plug-in starters here in the 7th round.
No.
For the do you know what happened here with the Vikings forfeiting the pit?
No.
They got in trouble for something.
Might have been that Love Boat thing from the mid-2000s. Fred Smoot and all those guys.
Got you.
No, I don't know what it might have been from.
Offensive tackle. Is there any? There's only 30 guys that we can pick. Is there any of these guys that like you know about?
Let's see. Honestly, no, not a lot of them ring a bell.
Yeah, as we get to like these later rounds, it's more of like you start to question a little bit. So how are these guys graded is the biggest. It's like your first overall thought.
I mean, Royce Newman, looking at him, I mean, at least he played in the SEC, so we know he played against some stiffer competition, at least.
Yeah. Miami. Is it going to give me, like, their size? Because size is definitely going to be important here.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it should.
I'm hoping it does. But at the same time, they might just be like, oh, sorry, we didn't feel like doing a profile on these guys.
Yeah, there's 7th round picks. What do you care, man?
Oh, there we go. 6'4", 310.
That's good size for a tackle.
All right. I don't hate it. So far, it's Tim.
Looks like he's pretty athletic.
Yeah.
Maybe it could be a left tackle.
All right. Let's see if we can grab something on him. For like these later round, like this always takes so long to load compared to like the higher end guys.
Yeah.
I don't know why. Okay. Wow. 6'8", 326.
That's a monster.
Wow.
That's like a Trent Brown.
They said there's a lot of things to like about him athletically, but they're not sure he's the kind of natural athlete with untapped development. He had a really good pass blocking grade, but everything else was just poor.
Yeah, I mean, again, you got to consider where we are. I mean, this is where you would take those chances, those project type of guys. And, with our tackle situation on the horizon, it's going to be kind of paramount to try and at least find a guy that could maybe step in or at least compete. I mean, Justin Herron I know they like him as kind of like a swing tackle, but let's just say the worst case scenario, they lose both of those guys next year. I mean, we're going to need to be looking for somebody. So it wouldn't be bad to bring somebody in now to see if maybe there's something there.
So Royce Newman, 6'6", 310 pounds. They don't even have a bottom line on him. They don't really have much of anything on him.
Oh, they just quit on him.
Yeah, he doesn't. His grades aren't. They're more consistent than the last guy, but he had a much better pass blocking grade. As where this guy's pass blocking grade isn't great, and he allowed more sacks. So I probably would pass on him.
Yeah.
For me, it's going to be between. Let's put this up. Between Tommy Doyle and Willie Sherman. Which one are you thinking?
You know, that Doyle to me looks like that low risk, high reward type of player.
Yeah, I was thinking that.
I mean, you know, maybe take a shot on him. I mean, maybe Sherman might be the more closer to a sure thing, but I mean,
yeah, not by much.
You're throwing blind darts at this point, just hoping for something to hit. So,
yeah,
I mean, you might as well take the guy with the upside.
I agree. So go back to the chat here. I'll put us up on this screen. Everyone can see our immediate thoughts once we get our grades. Shout out to everyone who has been here the whole time. This is almost 2 hours. Was not expecting that, but yeah, I think it was a really great discussion. Really in depth, which I loved. You know, it's the most important. You know, don't just pick a pick to pick it. I watch mock drafts and I see guys just picking the first guy on the top, and I'm like, okay, you're really trying. You know, you heard us, you heard our thoughts, and you heard ultimately why. You know, we felt that way.
It's like we talked about. I mean, like guys like Kuiper and McShay, they make trades and they're mock drafts that they publish, but you don't really know the details of it. So I mean, anybody can say, "Oh, they traded the 4th pick to the, you know, so and so." Yeah, but what are the details? What are the ramifications? I mean, anybody can just make stuff up. It's at least with this, you have some sort of, you know, something to go off of.
Yeah, I agree. All right, y'all. Make sure we're not, you know, hating in the chat here on anyone, for anyone's opinions or whatnot. You know, spread love, peace, love, positivity, 100%. You know, let's not hate on anyone or cause anything. You know, we're here to, you know, mock draft, enjoy Patriots football and the NFL in general. So let's not do any of that. Mr. Automotive loved William Sherman.
That's excellent.
So shout out to Mr. Automotive. Oh, did we just get a dono? We did just get a dono from our boy. Who else? Mr. Automotive.
This guy's the MVP.
I mean, if there was something above MVP, it would be Mr. Automotive. So huge shout out to him. His stimmy check came in. So big shout out to you for that. Man. So 2 hours plus, keep it going. Yes, sir. You already know. We made our selections. We did our trades. Now it is time to look at what PFF graded us for each selection, trade, and all of our goodies. Here comes the ultimate moment everyone's been waiting for.
Oh, don't give me enough.
Yes. Can we get a round of applause for Mr. Automotive? I completely agree with you. Completely. Everyone give it up for our boy, Mr. Automotive, in the chat.
That is excellent.
Our guy. That's what we love to see. All right. So let's take a look at it now before we end off the stream. Is there any way I can maybe save this?
Yeah, there. Go up a little bit.
Download image.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'm trying not to look at anything, you know, too
No spoilers.
Yeah, no spoilers. Can you see this still?
Yeah.
Did it pop up for you?
Oh,
frick, I don't think it did.
Not in another window. I still see what we were seeing before.
Dang it. I think it's because I only shared specifically this. Wait, hold up. Damn it. All right, you know what? We're just gonna have to roll with this. Whatever.
Yeah, that's fine.
It's fine. We just have to scroll a lot. Right. So JC Horn, they gave a B-. I don't know if I agree with that. I don't know if I agree.
Well, no, I mean, he's a really good player. I mean,
I've heard 15 maybe a little too high, but at the same time, I've seen him. I'm seeing him being considered the second best corner. So I don't really know. Is 15 really a push?
You know, and also Caleb Farley and Patrick Surtain were also off the board, and we felt like that was the best position at the time. So I mean, maybe he went higher than the people who made the grades anticipated.
Yeah, so I don't know. I don't really personally agree with the B-. B+. You got a B+ for the Kellen Mond move. I think that was a good move also. So I do agree. They gave us a B- here for the trade with the
I don't know about that.
Saints. Yeah, I don't know about that. We traded what?
We went up 60 spots and got rid of another one of the picks that we didn't want to make.
Yeah, so I don't know if I would give that a B-. At least it's not an F.
The trade was a B-, but the player that we took with that pick was a B+.
Was a B+, exactly, right? So I don't know about all that, but Jabril Cox, they gave a B+. I really do like that. I think he's going to be a really good coverage linebacker for the Pats, and is going to be, more importantly, a position that the team needs. A guy who can do really, really well in coverage. I think you plug him in, he's probably the best coverage linebacker the Patriots have. Also a guy who can get to the quarterback, though. Not great at stopping the run, but ultimately does two things that I think Belichick really does versatile and loves. Very versatile. Demetric Felton, they also gave a B+. It doesn't look like we're going to hit on any of these, which is sad. I mean, I could be wrong. We're not done yet, but it doesn't look like we're going to hit on any of these. Demetric Felton, B+. They gave Jamar Johnson the fifth-round selection safety.
I don't get that. That's an insane value pick. I mean, that was a guy that was supposed to go in the second round. We got him in the fifth.
Yeah, they had a first to second round grade on him, and we got him in the fifth.
I don't get that.
My biggest, I mean, the thing that I could say, all right, maybe it's because, here, let me put you guys on. Maybe it's a little bigger for you guys to see. Yeah, I don't agree with that. You add safety, you get a guy who's supposed to go in the first to second into the fifth. He isn't going to be a starter year one, so he can kind of sit back and learn, and he'll still get some playing time, but not be thrown in to be a starter. I think that's an excellent value pick. I can't agree with it.
No,
Milton Williams, the defensive lineman out of Louisiana Tech, they gave a B+. So good job there. They did like that pick. They gave a C for our trade.
They didn't like our trade on that.
They did not like that trade at all.
Well,
it seems like they don't like trades in general, though.
Yeah. The trades have all gotten. I just can't believe before where the Jabril Cox, that trade got a B- and the pick got a B+. That makes no sense to me. But I mean, we didn't want to make all those picks. I mean, that's a lot of picks to try and make, especially with the amount of players we have on the roster right now. You have to liquidate those at some point.
Yeah, I mean, obviously, PFF and their draft simulator, I understand, like, hey, you want us to draft players, but with 10 draft picks, you got to look at the current situation of each NFL team, and we just don't need 10 draft picks. We don't have the ability to draft 10 players because we have so many starters on the team right now. So
exactly.
I don't know. We picked up value for next year, which I think was really good also.
B+ on Tommy Doyle. There we go.
Wow, really? They gave that Tommy Doyle a B+. I think it was probably because of his build. I think that he has upside. Just not that pure untapped potential. But in the 7th round, I think that's the 7th round that we got him in. I mean, it's pretty good value. There's only 3 guys left. I wonder if they would have given us an A for the other guy or not. But
maybe. I don't know. He had the best profile of the 3 that we looked at right there. I mean, I think that was the best guy.
Yeah, I like Tommy Doyle. Huge guy. He's going to be hard to get past. He's a mountain. So they did like this trade. They liked this trade with the Saints. They liked that, where we got what?
Got their 2nd round pick next year.
We got their 2nd rounder. So they like that. It seems like they don't like when we trade up.
Yeah, that's right.
It seems like that's more, maybe we got to work on that. I don't know. I didn't think it was too bad, but
I thought we did good.
I thought we did good too. And then they gave us a B- for trading 139 to the Rams for a 3rd rounder. So what was that a 4th rounder?
They don't like it this year, but I bet they'd love it next year. That's probably what they're going on. They're probably only looking at it in a vacuum for this draft. But those trades in general, just looking at it from a, into the year's perspective, that's great going into next year.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think you're going to get a 2nd round pick for a 4th. So, I mean, what do they want us to put on, a 7th maybe? I don't know.
Yeah,
I guess we could have tried it, but I don't know. I think this is pretty realistic.
Yeah,
so I don't hate it. Overall, they gave us a B+. It's not bad.
Okay.
I would before the draft, I would love to get an A. I would love to hit an A. We're not there yet. I've learned that it's much harder to get that when you're doing trades. I've never hit full results. I think this is just for every NFL team. Leaderboard. So if you look at the leaderboards, how they graded, I actually don't know what that is, so I'm not even gonna bother. It doesn't look like that has to do anything with what we did. So overall, they liked some of it. Looks like the best picks that they liked from us was Kellen Mond in the second, the quarterback, Jabril Cox, the linebacker, Demetric Felton.
That was a good call on him.
Milton Williams was another good player in the later rounds. Tommy Doyle. So those looks like those were our best picks, and I think it was really good value ultimately. I liked it. I think we did good. I know they didn't love it, but I did.
Me too. Yeah, I'm with you, man. I'm with you. If our draft goes that well in April or in April, that would be excellent.
Yeah,
I would be totally happy with that.
You're getting players that help now. You're getting players that most importantly help later, but you're getting, you're like you said, you're liquidating these picks, but you're getting help for next year. Excuse me. You're getting help for next year. You turned a third into a second and a fourth into a third.
Yeah, I mean that's great value. You can't argue with that.
And you don't know what's going to happen this year. You don't know who might retire. You don't know who might get injured. You don't know what's going to happen. It's good to, compile these draft picks. It's better to just trade those away again, maybe ship off a second and a third and try to squeeze into the first or something like that. You never know. It's better to have these.
It's kind of like working your way up a ladder, so to speak. But it might not be all in one year, but you can kind of finesse those over maybe 2 or 3 years to really move that value up.
Yeah, agreed. It's better to have these higher picks, now and not force a pick. But that was our mock draft here, our 2021 New England Patriots NFL mock draft with trades. Like always, if you guys do want to check out other mock drafts that I've done, I have one with trades, without trades. We did one where we did a live draft and you guys yourselves made the picks. We'll do more of that. We'll probably do another you guys make the pick. I have another mock draft coming out maybe tomorrow that's already recorded where we're not doing trades at all. And you know what? Maybe we'll bring back Patriots Football Breakdown to do another one before the draft. Maybe we'll do one on his channel. We'll just have to see how things kind of pan out. But obviously expect some more mock drafts. Of course, more New England Patriots videos like always. I do appreciate you guys for watching. I do want to thank Patriots Football Breakdown, most importantly, also for coming. And thank you, everyone, of course, who donated too. Just tremendous respect for everyone, especially those who donated and gave back to me, especially in these hard times. That's it truly, I mean, it can't even find the words to thank you enough for that. And I wish I could give back more than just making these videos for you guys. So again, truly, I really do appreciate that. Is there anything else that you would like to say, Patriots Football Breakdown, before we end this one off?
Hey, man, just again, thank you for giving me the opportunity to come on your channel with you and talk about some Patriots football. It's always fun, man. Love hanging out, love talking the game. And, let's definitely do it again sometime, man. It's fun.
Definitely. We'll stay in contact. Definitely have you on the channel more in the future. And we did actually go on your channel a couple of weeks ago where we didn't really talk, about mock drafts and whatnot, but we talked about free agency, a little bit about the draft. We just talked about the Patriots in general. So if you guys want to hear just some general Patriots thoughts of the latest moves and whatnot, go ahead and check his channel out with the collab we did over on his channel if you guys want to see that. But like always, I appreciate you guys for watching. Make sure to subscribe to my channel for all of your New England Patriots news, needs, mock drafts, free agency, live streams, everything. And check out Patriots Football Breakdown if you guys do want to see more. Like always, I appreciate each and every single one of you for watching, and I'll catch you in the next video. Like always, go Pats.